Hello and welcome to GrossiMath.com, where math is for everyone. Today we'll be solving question 40 from the 2017 Algebra 1 STAAR by hand. So let's get started. Okay, in this video what we're going to learn how to do is solve an algebraic equation for a variable, and that's exactly what this question is going to ask us to do. It says which value of x makes the equation, and here's my equation, true. Well, to solve an equation, to find the value that makes an equation true, we just solve it. One little typo was made here. I need to go into my code and change that so that it should say what value of k. Because in the problem you can see that I'm dealing with the letter k. Okay, so we want the value of k. So hopefully I fixed that by the time you're watching the video. If not, it's a small change. Hopefully you can make it yourself. I want my answer to look like this. K equals a number. Okay, so what can I do to make that happen? Well, some algebra. 0.75 times k minus 16 equals negative 0.25 plus 0.5 times k minus 12. Okay, so let's do this. 0.75, I'm going to take that and distribute it. So the step one is to basically eliminate my parentheses by using distribution. Because look, in my answer choice, in k equals a number, are there parentheses involved here? No. So I want to eliminate my parentheses first. So here I'm going to distribute. Now distribute means take that term outside and multiply it with both terms on the inside. So let's do that. 0.75k. And then this is positive and this is negative 16. So that's going to multiply to make a negative. Positive times negative made a negative. And 0.75 times 16, what's that going to make? Okay, well, 16 is 4 times 4, and 0.74 would be 3 times 4, so that would be 12. Okay, so 0.75 times 16 is 12. If you don't believe me, you can check it in a calculator, and you'll see that it is correct. Negative 0.25 plus, okay, 0.5 times k makes 0.5k. And now I'm working on my second set of parentheses. I took care of the k. I got to take care of this negative 12. Well, look, this is positive, and this is negative. So that's going to make a negative. And 0.5 times 12 is 6, because a half times 12 is 6. Okay, and this one would be 3/4. That's how I got this 12. 3/4 times 16. Well, that would make 12. Okay. So now that I've eliminated the parentheses, all I did was take these numbers right here and multiply them with the terms inside the parentheses. And that's how I got all my data down here, or all my numbers down here. Okay, so now let's take our algebraic equation and make it get closer to this answer. That is the secret to algebra. You must always get closer and closer to letter equals number when you're trying to solve. In order to do that, let's make a little map here of our rules for solving an equation. Adding and subtracting are exact opposites. Multiplying and dividing are exact opposites. And even though we're not going to use it in this problem, I always ask my students to write square and square root, because that helps us to remember that we're at the high school level now and we can see exponents in our algebra. Okay, so what do I see in my answer? Well, I see that I have letters on one side and I'm going to have just a number on the other side. So basically I'm going to take my little equation here and I'm going to make one side be just for letters and one side be just for numbers. And in order to do that, I need to follow my rules. My rule is that if I move a term, I have to change the sign if I cross the equal sign. So the equal sign is the king of the opposites. If I take a positive and I cross the equal sign, I have to make it a negative. If I take a negative and I cross the equal sign, I have to make it a positive. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to gather up my letters. So in other words, this has a letter, 0.75k. So that can go on this side. And since it's already on the left, I don't have to change anything because I didn't really move it. Well, what else here has a letter component? Ah, this guy. But look, he's on the right side of the equal sign. So I'm going to move him. I'm going to take that whole term, positive 0.5k, and I'm going to move it to the letter side. I can do that. That's allowed as long as I change it. Remember, if a positive crosses the equal sign, it has to become a negative. So I'm going to make this negative 0.5k. Okay. Now I'm going to set up, that's it for my letters. So now I'm going to set up my numbers. Well, look, on the right, I already had negative 0.25. That doesn't move, so it doesn't change. Negative 6, that didn't cross the equal sign, so that doesn't change. But look at this guy, negative 12. Okay, he's on the letter side still. So I'm going to grab that negative 12. And I'm going to move him over to the number side. And when I do that, I just need to change his sign. Remember, if a negative crosses the equal sign, it becomes a positive. So now I'm going to make this a positive 12. And there we go. That's how I can solve this up to get closer to my goal. Again, the only reason I did that is so that there would be letters on one side and numbers on the other side, because that's what I see in my answer. Okay, so now I only have a single k term. I don't have k minus k minus k. No, I have just one term for k. So I'm going to consolidate these two terms. 0.5 minus, 0.75 minus 0.5 means that I'm going to have 0.25k. Okay? And now I can consolidate my numbers as well. Okay? So that means I'm going to have, well, let's see. Let's consolidate these numbers. 12 minus 6 would make 6. And this is going to be negative 0.25. Okay? So 12 and negative 6 combined to make positive 6. And negative 0.25 I'm going to combine with the 6. So that's going to still copy. I don't want to confuse anybody. I'm just going slowly. All I did was put together the 12 and the negative 6. And that's how I got this 6 right here. And then this guy just moved over here. You can move them as long as you keep the signs correct. You can do adding and subtracting in any order as long as the signs are correct. Okay, 6 minus 0.25 is going to make 5.75. Okay, and now look, I'm getting really close to my answer. I have here k equals a number. Well, here I have 0.25k equals a number. Well, what can I do to get rid of this 0.25? Well, there are two possibilities, and I'll do the one that probably seems familiar to most of you. This I'm just going to take, I don't want 0.25k. What I actually want is 1k. So to change this to a 1, I'm going to put 0.25 underneath. Because if I divide by the same number, I'm going to get the number 1. I'm allowed to do that. However, as every algebra teacher teaches, if you do it on one side, you have to do it on the other side. And therefore, look, these guys divide to make 1. So there's just the letter k. And now this, what is this division going to be? Well, I can do this one quickly. 25 is going to fit inside that 5 right there 4 times for each whole number, because 0.25, if I added up 4 times, would make the number 1, right? So how many 1s are inside that 5? Well, there are 5 little 1s in there, and there are 4 little 25s in each of those 1s. In other words, $5 is made up of how many quarters? That's another way of doing it. What if I had $5? How many quarters would that make? Well, there's 4 quarters in a dollar, 25 cents, right? So $5 and 4 quarters inside a dollar. And right there, that's going to make me 20 quarters. And then I have 75 extra cents. So how much is that? Well, it's 23 quarters. Okay, so that's how I did this easily, is that I just turned it into money in my head. 0.25 is a quarter, and $5.75. So what this question is really asking is how many quarters are there? So 5 quarters, again, would be 20. $5 would be 20 quarters, and then 75 cents would be 3 more. So 20 plus 3 is 23, and I get a number equals a letter. K equals 23, and that is how I did this problem. Okay, so hopefully you learned something today. Basically what we did was use some algebra to solve an equation. Step 1, we had to set a goal. You must always set that goal. The letter equals the number. Okay, and now you're going to do everything you can to get closer and closer to having that letter equal that number. So step 1, eliminate the parentheses. Step 2, letters with letters, numbers with numbers. Step 3, is the coefficient of the letter k 1? If it's not, divide and make it be a 1. And that is how you can solve an algebraic equation very quickly and easily. Okay, well, thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned something today. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to click the bell icon. And of course, to visit the website where math is for everyone, www.grossimath.com. Have a great day, guys.